All right, so recording has started. I think you can see that. Okay. As I said earlier, animal nutrition is the topic we are going to be treating today. And by the grace of God, I'll be using some slides to make the lesson more interesting and also to guide us through what we are going to be talking about. And at intervals, I'll require that I can just call on your name and or you can raise your hand, I call you, you unmute yourself and talk to us. And as I said earlier, if the whole thing becomes rowdy, I would have to start muting all of you. But I want to believe we are matured enough to control the background noise and also to avoid making any form of noise. All right. So if that being said, I'm seeing a chat here. Okay, yes, you are welcome. Pelumi. It's all right. It's all right. Happy New Month. Okay, that's true. Happy New Month, everybody. We are all going to have a productive day by the grace of God.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get started. All right. Let me just share this screen quickly. Okay, so this is what we are going to be looking at today. The topic animal nutrition. As I said, week 9. That's what we're going to be looking at. When we talk about nutrition, can we have Ojobaro just tell us what comes to your mind when you talk about or when you hear the word nutrition? Quickly. I can't hear anything. No. Adeyemi Temiloluwa. Okay, yes. Continue.
Like nutrients that are not giving meat to carry out.
Okay,
to survive.
That's very good. Temiloluwa, can we hear from you also? Adeyemi. Okay, there's no response there. Can we have Onolaja?
So what did you say we should explain?
Just what comes to your mind when you hear animal nutrition? I believe you have your jotters with you and you're writing something down. Everybody, please do. You can all unmute your food. Thank you very much. Who said food? Is that Tolu?
Yes.
All right. Chinye, what comes to your mind when you hear nutrition, animal nutrition?
Food with animals.
You said what?
Animal food.
Okay, animal food. All right. So you've all said well, you've all done well. So when we talk about nutrition, basically we're talking about food. And this time around it is animals that eat. Even though plants eat, but we don't really say it like that. Plants make their own food using other resources from outside. But animals feed. It's either they feed on other plants, they feed on plants or other animals. But our focus today will be on farm animals. That's where our focus is going to be, farm animals. By the grace of God, that's what we're going to be looking at quickly. Okay, so let's move on. So the contents, what we're going to be discussing is introduction into this topic, which is going to be in a video that we're going to just watch for briefly. Then also we are going to define what animal nutrition is, the standard way to define it, why is it important, and we're going to look at some terms and the meaning of those terms. And then we're also going to talk about classification of livestock feed. Now, let me ask you, anybody can answer, just tell me your name and then you give an answer to it. And if you hear someone talking, you can just chill for your own turn so that we don't make the class rowdy. I want to ask quickly, when we talk about livestock, what are we talking about? Anybody? Livestock. Should I call? You tell me your name so and then you talk. Who said living things just now? Who is I now? Emmanuel. Emmanuel. This class is for SS2. Just one class is over. Okay. This class is for SS2, please. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I would have to remove you. Thank you very much. Okay. Yes. Please, I need contribution. That was a GS1 student contributing. I need contribution from you guys. Let me call names. I guess that's what we're going to resort to. Okay, Olupelumi. Olupelumi, what are you telling us? Okay, yes, someone here is talking. Said farm animal. That is precious. Adeyemi. Is it that you cannot unmute yourself? Is it that you cannot unmute yourself because nobody is talking? I don't know what is going on, and I don't like to be in the dark like this. Monolaja,
Sir.
you can mute and unmute yourself, right?
Yes.
So why are others not talking? What's happening? Pressure Daddy, I
Sir, they
got your
don't.
message. They don't feel like, oh, I see. Ojo, but you please unmute yourself and talk to me. Livestock, mention your name and talk to me. Michelle is here to run away, a Greek student. Okay, yes, talk to us. Michelle, talk. We are listening.
Yes, I
Livestock,
don't say anything.
you don't want to say anything. It's okay. You just want to.
Yes, I'm just here.
It's all right. It's all right. No problem. Fadaka, let's hear you. Fadaka, yes, talk to us.
Sir?
Now, what do you understand by livestock? When we say livestock, what does it mean? Animals. Okay. Just okay. It's all right. All right, let's move
Sir,
on.
can we record this class?
If you want to, I'm recording it. I'm recording this on my end there. But you
I
can.
say we should ask for permission. I say we should ask for permission to record the meeting.
Okay, that sentence is going to be a long something. Okay, babe, maybe let me see if I can. I would forward this record to us later on. Don't worry. That's
Okay.
the purpose of recording it.
Okay.
All right, so let's continue. Let's continue. Hallelujah. Say something, please. Hallelujah. Are you sure you just joined us with gadgets? Are you sure you are present? Because some people will join with gadget too. Yes, okay. If we are not getting anything there, let's move on. So as I said, this is the content. These are what we're going to be looking at this morning. By the grace of God. Let me spotlight. So these are the stuff we are going to be looking at today. And when we talk about livestock, you've all said well, livestock is talking about animals. Animals, especially the domesticated ones that we are keeping for one purpose or the other on the farm. All right, let's move on. So please, you would bear with the settings on the system is tricky. So you just bear with. You might not be able to hear the audio, but you will see the movement, the motion pictures. Okay. Everything she's saying, I know you are not getting the audio, or is there anybody that is getting the audio? Ojo Baro, are you hearing the audio?
No, sir.
No, okay.
No,
But
sir.
everything she's saying is being
Yes,
subtitled.
sir.
Everything she's
Yes.
saying is subtitled, okay? So you can follow like that. Okay, before we move on, can we have one or two people talk about the video quickly? What are the things that you draw from the video? Anything. There's no wrong answer. Anybody? Okay, I think the style you want is I should call your names. Okay, let me call. Olupelumi, please unmute yourself. Talk to us. What did you get from the video? Okay, Olupelumi is not responsive. Omojola Joanna, can you talk to us? Yes, what did you get from the video?
The video is about feeding of pigs.
Okay, so what can you tell us about feeding of pigs? What are essential?
She talked about the necessary nutrients.
Okay, what nutrients was highlighted that you got?
She mentioned some macronutrients.
Okay, like okay, what else did you get? What else did you get?
Another and trace elements like copper.
Okay, what else did you get aside that?
That's all.
All right, you've actually done a good job. Okay, let's see someone else. Fadaka, can we have you talk to us quickly? Fadaka, unmute and talk to us, please. Okay, Fadaka is not responding. Can we have Modukpe? Modukpe,
I
yes.
learned that
Okay.
lysine is an essential amino acid
Okay.
that pigs need for. Then they need vitamins like vitamin A, D, and E,
Okay.
as well as the trace elements copper.
Okay.
Then
thank
greens
you.
are needed in pig's feed,
Okay.
which supplies energy.
Energy. Thank you very much. So we can draw points from that. Trace elements are needed. Energy is needed. Lysine. Someone mentioned lysine as an amino acid that makes up protein, and fiber, as mentioned in the video. All right. Let's move on from this. Okay. So what's the definition of? I believe you can see my screen. Please. I just need one person to respond. Can you see my screen clearly? There's no hindrance anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move on. So definition of animal nutrition. Animal nutrition is the process by which an animal obtains nutrients necessary for its healthy growth and development. Animal nutrition is the process, is a process actually. It involves a lot of things which we are still going to see as the lesson continues. So it's a process by which an animal obtains nutrients necessary for its healthy growth and development. That is what animal nutrition is. So animals take up feed and then obtain one or two things from the feed so that they can grow properly. All right, let's move on. Yeah, importance of animal feed. Why is animal feed important? Number one, it is important for proper growth and well-being of the animals, as we have seen in the video. Number two, it provides energy needed for daily life. The animals who have one or two activities they carry out on a daily basis. Okay, can somebody just give us one or two activities that animals carry out daily on a daily basis that will actually require energy? Anybody?
For beast of burden.
Bees, okay.
Like
to be used to work on the farm, Abi?
yes.
Okay.
Then to produce dairy products like
produce
milk.
product like milk. Thank you. You've done a very good job. Thank you for that. Okay. It also aids animals' resistance to diseases. The type of food they eat, there's some type of food that nutrient that they consume that helps them to combat disease or disease-causing organism. Then it also helps maturity. It helps them to mature faster and mature well, not just faster, to mature well. An animal can be big and it will not be mature. But at this junction, I want to ask a question. What's the mark of maturity in an animal? Who can answer that? Please tell your name before you talk. Just tell your, this is my name and this is the answer. What's the mark of maturity? Mark of maturity. Anybody? Hallelujah. Okay. Hallelujah is not responding. Precious Adeyemi, can we have you? Okay, should I take it that we don't know so that I provide the answer? Welumi, what's the mark of maturity? Ojobaro.
So I don't know.
Okay. Onolaja.
So I'm not sure.
You are not sure. Tell us the one you know.
Ability to I don't think it's correct. The ability to give birth.
Ability to give birth. Okay, you are actually correct. When you say ability to give birth, that's actually the correct thing. Huh? An animal is mature when the animal is capable of giving birth, either impregnating or carrying a pregnancy. If it's a female, a male impregnating. So its feed also influences maturity. That's just what I want to drive at. And then it also aids optimal production. Like, oh yeah, there's a noise somewhere. Okay, it aids optimal production in animals. That is, it makes the animals produce well. You know, we get eggs from animals, milk, and meat also from animals. So when these animals are well fed, what you are expecting from them will come faster. All right, let's move on. From this importance, let's go to the next thing. Now, this time around, we want to quickly talk about nutrients, elements. Sorry, what's displayed? My screen is blurred. Someone read it out for me. This animal what?
Animal feed ingredients.
Animal feed ingredients and feed stuff,
stuff.
Abi.
Stop.
Thank you very much
Yes,
for
sir.
that. There's something blocking it, so I can't say because I'm okay. Now, when we talk about feed stuff, we are still going to define it later on, but let's just look at an overview of it. These are raw materials that we use to produce animal feed. You know, we don't say we give animal food, even though some of us use it, but that's not the correct term to be used. We say we give animals feed. So what we use in making animal feed is what we refer to as feed stuff or the nutrients or the feed ingredients. So we have examples here highlighted. We have blood meal, we have fish meal, we have granite cake, palm kernel cake, we have bone meal, we have cotton seed meal, maize, and so on and so forth. So when we combine all these things together, sometimes we grind them and present it to the animal in that that form, just that grinded form. And sometimes we mix it together and then we make it into different shapes. Some may look cylindrical, some cuboidal, some rectangular, whatever shape. We present it like that to the animal, whatever form, as long as we have mixed more than one ingredient together. All those things we are mixing together is what we refer to as the feed stuff. I think that has been noted.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move on. Okay, so once we look at some terms and their meaning, we already talked about feed. Said feed is edible substance. When we say edible, that is something that can be ingested, something that can be eaten. Edible substance given to an animal to obtain nutrients. Feed stuff are edible substances that makes up feed. That's what we just discussed. That's the slide before this. And then feed nutrients. Feed nutrients are chemical substances. They are the reason why the animal is eaten. They are chemical substances that animals obtain from consuming feed. That's feed nutrients. Why feed nutrients elements are those ones that are the chemical substances that makes up the feed nutrients. For example, feed nutrients will include carbohydrates. The elements that make up carbohydrate include, who can tell us? Let me not just be the one talking. What are the elements that make up carbohydrates?
Carbon, hydrogen, and
Oxygen.
Thank you very much for that. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen makes up carbohydrate. So that's when all those carbon, hydrogen that you're mentioning, all those ones are feed nutrients elements. And they are grouped into two. We have the structural elements, which contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. And then we have the mineral elements, which contains the essential minerals and the non-essential minerals. The essential minerals, we have magnesium, calcium, sulfur, chlorine, sodium, potassium, and phosphorus, while the non-essentials are listed here. Then let's move on from there. We talk about diet. What's a diet? A diet is defined as the feed that is formulated to meet the specific need of an animal. Then lastly, let's look at ration. Ration is the total amount of food that we give an animal within a day. If you give an animal 2 kg of food per day, that's the animal's ration for that day. Okay, let's move on. Now, ration, this time around, I want to dwell on ration because it's important. We already defined it as the food we give an animal within a 24-hour period, which is a day. Now, we have what is called balanced ration. A ration is balanced when it has all the required nutrients in the right quantity. It is balanced when it has all the required nutrients, just like we have balanced diet in human beings, what we learned in basic science, in junior school and biology, all of that. So we have it in animals as balanced ration, balanced ration. What are the types of balanced ration that we have? We have the maintenance ration, we have the production ration. Now, I haven't read all this. Can somebody just highlight the major difference between maintenance ration and production ration?
So maintenance ration is given to farm animals just for normal day activity or normal function of the body.
Okay.
Then production ration for reproducing.
For reproducing, okay, that's good. That's a good attempt. Yes, to give animals to enable them. When we talk of reproducing, it's not just to give birth, not just to mate and give birth. No, it goes beyond that. We give animals production ration if we want them to gain meat. For example, broiler, you can say broiler here, fattening animals. We give them production ration. We give animals production ration when they are still small. We want them to grow very well. Winners, I think we have win animals somewhere here. Yes, we give them production ration so that they can get the essential nutrients to grow and then be able to develop the essential organs that is needed for them to survive properly. Then we give lactating animals too production ration so that they can produce milk that we can use, and they can also produce milk that the animals, their young ones, that's their babies, can drink. And then we also have the pregnant animals that we give production ration. Layers, who can tell me what we give production? Why do we give layers production ration? Who can tell us?
To lay eggs.
To lay eggs.
Much eggs.
Who's that? What's the name?
Odupe.
Odupe, okay, thank you for that contribution. And then we give breeders. This one is for those ones that are mating. That's whether it's a stud, that's a male animal, or a female animal. We have to give them production ration. For the male animal, so that it can have enough energy to mate, and for the female animal, so that it can ovulate and produce a lot of eggs, so that it can get pregnant and also produce many young ones. All right, let's move on. So this the continuation of ration. What are the things that we look at before we decide that this type of food we want to give our animals? We look at why we are keeping the animal. We are keeping the animal for work. Hello. If you are keeping the animal for work, what do you think will be dominant in that? What type of nutrient do you think will be dominant in such food?
Carbohydrate.
Carbohydrates or energy, thank you. So we also look at the age of the animal. Younger animals, we feed them more protein. As they grow older, we reduce the protein content. Then we also look at the animal's condition of health. How healthy is the animal? Then how is it able to adapt to the area where we are staying? The management system, this one has to do with the efficiency of the person that is keeping the animal. It has to be considered. Money also is involved here. The amount of money that you can actually get, or the type of food you can get, depends on the type of money you have. So still under management system. And the physiological state of the animal. Who can shed light on this before I talk about it? Physiological state, what do we mean by that? Is anybody talking? When we say physiological state, yes. Okay. When we're talking about this, we're talking about the states, that is the period in which the animal is in. This one is usually particular with female animal. Is the female animal pregnant? Is the female animal lactating? That the animal just give birth? Or is the female animal, is it not pregnant, that is, it is ready to be mated, or what age is the animal. That's what we mean by psychological state of the animal. I think that is taken.
So I have a question.
Okay. I'll respond to questions.
I have a question.
I want to beat time. Well, ask. Let me see if it's something we can attend to quickly. Ask.
About this physiological state, can you also include like weather? Maybe if it's in dry season or something like that.
Okay, that will be included in management system. You see, weather is not something that we can actually control, but there are some things that we can put in place. There are some things we can put in place to tackle weather. So we are going to put weather condition under management system, and weather condition, actually, it does influence the feed that the animal will consume, the amount of feed the animal will consume. But what we are looking at here is factors to consider when we are deciding the type of ration to give our animals. So in a way, weather condition does not have much of an effect, except for the fact that when it is cold, the animal tends to eat more. So the only thing you should consider is when the weather is cold, if you feed your animals, increase the quantity that you are giving your animals. And when the weather is not so cold, when it is hot, you should try as much as possible to make it cold for them. That is providing ventilation so that they can eat optimally. We learned this in GSS1. I'm sorry, I said GSS1, SS1, when we're talking about factors that controls production. I think it was third term or second term that we learned something about this in SS1. Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move on to the next thing. So classification of, you're welcome. Classification of livestock feed. We classify feed into 4 groups. And before we classify those feed into 4 groups, we look at how digestible the food is. That is, how easy is it for the animal to obtain the nutrient present there? How much fiber does the feed have? How much is required by the animal? And then, is there water? Moisture talks about water. Is there water in the feed, or what quantity of water in the feed? Then based on that, we have 4 groups of feed, which is concentrate, roughages, succulent, and supplement. I think that is taken.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move on. So let's quickly just look at this video. It gives us an overview of animal nutrition. So just follow what is being. All right, so we have an overview of animal nutrition, which includes injection, taking in the food, digestion, breaking down the food, which can be mechanical, use of teeth and all of that, chemical in the stomach with the mixture of enzymes and other juices. Then absorption, that is the body takes in the nutrient present, and then elimination. Please, this video will end now. I would like you to join again. I will restart it to join again. Anytime it ends, just join again. Is that taken, please, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Okay, so we'll continue
sir.
from here. I think the video should end any minutes now. We'll continue from here.